Greetings and welcome from Jeddah for what promises to be a sensational slice of world-class motorsport. We're off to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today.
Good evening, race fans. Pirate here, Black Flag Racing TV. And yes, we are back. Late night racing returns for a whole new season. Season 7, this is round number 1 of what will be a exciting 12-round extravaganza of motor racing here on F1 2022. Crossplay is enabled, but I don't see anybody that's not on PlayStation on the list, so let's see. Actually, we do. We've got a PC user in Sam Volvo TJE. Now, I don't know if crossplay has improved since the last time I was involved in a crossplay league. What I can tell you is the last time I was involved in a crossplay league, it was a big shower of shit. But so far, we'll wait and see how it works. Anyway, right, we've got some new names and faces out there, and I've got to learn all their names. I'm going to put it out there for those of you that have not seen an LNR stream before, any of the new drivers. If I have messed up your name, and you haven't told me within 24 hours of this video going out that I've messed up your name, and the others will attest to this, then that is the name you will remain with for the rest of the season, whether you like it or not. And if the new name I've given you is funny, then you will have to also change your PS. No, I'm just joking, you have to do that. Yeah, so look, if I'm mispronouncing your name and you want it pronounced correctly, then you have to tell me what it's supposed to sound like. I will read it as I see it. So, who are we going to welcome to the party? Well, there's your first. Why can't people just all be called Steve? Benken to J. Bekent. That'll do for now. Bekent. Sam Volvo. That's pretty easy. Actually, to be fair, I think that's TJ in the end of both of them. So it's BB Ecken. BB Ecken? Or Bekent. So we've got Bekent, we've got Sam Volvo. Of course, we've got Woolsey returning from last season. He's in the Red Bull this time out. Drew Cam in the Ferrari, and his teammate, your current reigning two-time world champion of the world, Dunners, in the Ferrari. Ferrari, of course, are the reigning constructors champions. Last year was Moggy and Blumchump. This year, they're in different cars. There is Moggy returning from last year. He is a constructors champion. He's in the Aston Martin this time round. BC Games. I did a chat with him last week during the little tournament we had. Welcome to the party, pal. He's in the Red Bull. Danny? Let's go with Danny. Danny in the McLaren. Welcome to LNR, my friend. Riley, of course, returning in the AMG Petronas Mercedes. Era is returning in the AlphaTauri, and as is our glorious host. And I've got this for you now, buddy. I said I would do one for people as the season went on, and of course we saw that already for Riley last week. We saw that for Fingers, who I don't think's here today. That's the Dunners, our champion, holding his 2 little trophies. And I can assure you that although you don't see his trousers, he is wearing double denim. And Error! There's one for you. 2 more next week for some more people. Blumchum is in the Williams. Ryan is his teammate in the Williams racing car. And you can hear Ryan and myself on the Eurotrips F1 podcast that Ryan put out last week. It's on Spotify. You can search it because I've got profitable. I'll put the link up for you. Alfa Romeo of Hunter. Joseph returns. on PC, and he's quick as Joseph. And I imagine we'll see him there. Well, look, we don't know. I don't know how quick these new guys are. They could be super, super fast. And of course, there's a Lutevent. I think that's right. Lutevent. Yeah, as I said, Becken, Sam Volvo. That's pretty self-explanatory. His name's Sam, and he drives a Volvo. Danny, Lutevent. If I've pronounced your name wrong, you've got 24 hours to correct me. Only 24 hours. For those of you that love a bit of F1, once this is done, you can go back and watch the finale of Smoking Pirellis that literally just came up just before this on Black Flag Racing TV. And what a finish to that season was. We had one driver going into the season, 9 points clear, and the two vying for the championship crashed out with just a couple of laps left to go at Imola. But this is all about round one of LNR at Jeddah. Format is very simple. 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 25% race of cars driving very, very fast. And then we reverse the old grid, and then we do a 50% race, and those cars drive fast again. And 15 runners. Now, I've got to say, new season starting, man. Why have we not got all 20 drivers out there? I know Fingers couldn't make it because he is hanging out behind some bins. No, he's not really up. He's got a football thing occurring, I believe. Right, just got to check because I'm not getting. I'm assuming that this is a. Oh, there we go. I wasn't getting feedback in my ears for the game sounds, but they are coming through. I can now hear them because I didn't click a certain button. Right, okay. So let's go on board. We got some new guys. We'll go on board one of the new. In fact, no, we're not. This is a new season. I think we should go on board with the champion for our what's going on at Jeddah lap. But first out is Sam Volvo. He's a PC driver along with Joseph. Now I do know that PC drivers just seem to have a little bit of a speed advantage. And I don't know if that's just processing power or what, but it could well be. I personally prefer the console, in all honesty. I do have a PC, obviously. I use it for streaming, and I have dabbled into some iRacing, but then I've seen how incredibly expensive it would be to be involved in iRacing in any meaningful way, and I'm waiting for a sponsor to come along and say, here's some money, buy all of the tracks and stuff, and we'll pay you to do some broadcasting. But we'll wait and see. So we've got quite a few cars out there on track. This is a very tight, very dangerous circuit, just because of the walls everywhere. It is a street circuit, of course, Jeddah. These are actual roads where they drive actual cars, and you really can, in some of these corners, just become a massive fireball if you're not careful. Do not like that STC logo. It's very harsh on the eyes, shall we say. But we're going to get some laps in. We're going to see where people slot in, and then we can make some decisions on what we think pace-wise. Well, clearly you cannot count out the reigning champion. He's a two-time champion for a reason. So Dunners is obviously going to be on the radar. Joseph, we know Joseph's very quick. Was that a little coming together there between two cars on and out lap? Oh yes, it was. 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Wolsey for Sam Volvo on his opening hot lap. Yeah, bits of Alfa Romeo going everywhere. That's not the way to start out your career here at LNR, my friend. Crashy. But yeah, we'll move on. And it spins another car out of the way. What the hell is going on? That is absolutely ridiculous.
How dare you?
Yes, Greta, you're right. How dare you?
I crashed.
You crashed! How are you coming first?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what is going on there. Is my response to that? Right. So Sam Volvo's got to go all the way back around and go back into the pits. Fastest lap, we do have a fastest lap, and that is Lutevent with a 1:32.1. I know it sounds like I'm just saying his name over and over again. It's just to kind of get it right in my mind. The Hunter joins him on the front row, 1:33.5. They're the first 2 times on the board. Is Dunners out yet? Yes, he is. Is he going quick? Yes, he is. That pole for Riley, 1:31.7 in the Mercedes-Benz. That's not too shabby a time here at Jeddah. DRS wide open there for Dunners as he's trying to chuck in a lap, and I went to go on board with him for a hot lap. But we'll do it for his cool down lap after this. Do want to see, we'll get rid of all the gubbins on the screen in a minute. He's going to come fly down this big left-hander at the end. Key turn this if you want to get a good lap. Get on that power, and then you head down towards the start-finish line, which is just here. Past the pit entrance on your left. That's Dunners on pole. That's a 1:30.7. Then you head down. First turn is a big left-hander into the right-hander. Nice little chicane there before you go into this. Then this is a really tight section. Again, on the power, 2 DRS zones here. Sorry, 3 DRS zones here. And then again, another little left-right combo. And then another sweeping left-hander into a sweeping right-hander, into another sweeping right-hander, into a sweeping left-hander. And it is very much, it's almost like chicane central, with a couple of big swooping hard brake zones like this one, with a very little runoff area, to be fair. There's enough, but not quite enough. And this is why this track can be so dangerous if you get it horribly wrong. Down into what will be the second of the 3 DRS zones. You sweep around here, there's your detection zone, and then if you've got that 1 second gap to the car in front, you will see that happen. Boom. Well, no, you won't, because he hasn't done it. But you would see the wing normally open as you head down towards the next detection zone, which is there. Boom. You head round. He's off the racetrack there. That wouldn't count if it was a hot lap anyway. He's moving out of our way just to let them come through. This is the next DRS zone. There you can see the wing open, of course. Just slowing it down a little bit so it doesn't catch the car in front or affect anybody else, of course. And then you've got your final detection zone here as you go round that last corner. And then you've got DRS, which takes you from this point, rear wing open, of course, down to the start-finish line. He's actually going around again. Let's go round again. Thanks for that, Dunners. Did you do that on purpose for me? Thanks if you did. Thank you very much. You could have just got it with picks, mate. But thank you anyway. Awesome. That's a lap around Jeddah with your reigning champion. Dunners. Right, so Dunners on pole. He's got Ryan alongside him at 1:31.4. Drew Cam and Blumchum on row 2. Riley and Lutevent on row 3, 7:32.1. Then we've got the Hunter alone on row 4 with a 33.5. We've still got Sam Volvo, who was a bit crashy on his last hot lap. Error, Woolsey, Danny still to come out. Becken. I'm sure it's Becken. Seems quite simple when you say it like that. Becken in 12th, he's still got to come out. BC Games still needs to come out. Moggy as well. And Joseph. And we know Joseph's going to be quick. That'll be, I'll tell you what, we'll see Joseph's lap and then we'll know just how quick everybody else is, because we know that he's super speedy, Joseph. Although Dunners has set a pretty decent time to be getting on with a 1:30.7. I hate to do this, but I really needed to pee after the last broadcast, but I technically should get this started, so I didn't get to pee. Back in, well, as long as it takes to shake the snake. have returned. I have returned. Right, so still waiting for some people to set a lap for us. Just checking a message here. That is an unimportant message, and I will not get any of that time back of my life. I just wasted reading it. Anyway, moving on. I thought I had an error message, but it was not an error message for this. So we know this is working. Oh my days. I'm having had a bit of a software glitch today, and if it carries on happening, I'm going to punch them. Right, so Dunners is your current pole sitter, and he's got Ryan for company on the front row. Drew Cam and Blumchum are holding hands on row 2. And ironically, look, we've got Dunners in a Ferrari, Ryan, who's in, is he in Williams? Drew Cam in a Ferrari, and Blumchum in the other Williams on the front row. And Error retired from the session without setting a time. He is going to be last, his old Error. And it is a bit of an Aero 404, not setting a time thus far. Row 3 is Riley, and that is Riley facing in the wrong direction.
You can't park that there, mate.
Yeah, so that's the way to go. That's much better. But he currently sits on row 3 with Beckin. Lutvent, see, I'm starting to get it now, is on row 4 with the Hunter. Will the Hunter become the hunted as time starts chucking in? Sam Volvo has put in a 1:43.5. That's down the order a little bit in terms of time right now. But it could just be he needs to flicky with the settings, sort them out, and then when he comes back out. Wouldn't it be cool if Volvo had an F1 team? Can you imagine? Like a grid with like Volvo, Skoda, Volkswagen. I suppose we've got Volkswagen already, haven't we? Because with Audi coming into the sports, you know, like Austin Allegro, shit like that. Right, so 2 Ferraris on the front row. We haven't seen that for some time. It's Charles Leclerc and Carlos Dunners on pole position. It's Ryan Albon and what's his name, Piastri, Blumchum Piastri on the second row. Riley and Becken on row 3. As Danny in the McLaren, Danny puts himself onto row 3, pushing Becken down to row 4 with Lutvent. Lutvent 69. I'll tell you what, 69 in this house would be an event. Moving on very swiftly. Wolsey in 12th, BC Games 13th, Moggy 14th, and Joseph 15th, because they haven't yet set a time. Error is out of this session. Did he crash his car? Nobody knows. Maybe. We've got 15 runners here for the first round of this LNR racing season. Disappointing turnout for the first round, fellas. Where's the 5 of you that are not driving? What could you possibly be doing that's better than racing pixelated Formula 1 cars around a street circuit in Saudi Arabia while I character assassinate you and mess up your name? I can't think of anything. Absolutely nothing at all. What I do know is that the one half of the reigning Constructors' Champions, Blumchum, is on pole with a 1:29.857 in the Williams racing car. Drew Cam just behind him. He comes back into the pits. He's not been able to improve thus far. Neither has Dunners, and Dunners now not on the front row anymore. And someone's got a window open. It's freezing in my house. Moggy is, well, he was on the second row, as Daddy puts in a much better lap in that McLaren and puts himself up onto the second row with a 1:30.6, starting to crawl up the order a little bit. Wolsey and Joseph now on an outlet. We'll get to see how quick Joseph is today. Joseph in the AlphaTauri for this season. His teammate not joining us today for whatever reason that might be. But sub 1:30, the only person so far to do that is Blumchum. And that's a 1:29.857 for him. Wolsey is out on a hot lap now. Is he going to put in a hot lap, or just a not lap? We'll see. Wolsey, of course, was in the Alfa Romeo last season, teammate of Riley, and this season he's in a Red Bull racing car with BC Games. That is their little team. So this season, can everyone remember the circuits? Have you remembered all the circuits, or have you not remembered all the circuits? Right, so this is week number 1. We're here at Jeddah. Next week, it's over to Austria for the Red Bull Ring, of course. Where else would it be if not the Red Bull Ring? Then to USA, and I believe that is Circuit of the Americas for a sprint race on the 21st of March. Then we're back over to this neck of the woods to Bahrain for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Beginning of April takes us to Canada, to the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. One of my favourites, love that racetrack. Then sprint race number 2 on the 11th of April, which will be in China. And that's, I was going to say it's my birthday week, but it's not. The week after my birthday, we're having a break then, by the way. I think we're having a break then because it's Easter. Because Easter's late this year, isn't it? 25th of April, we're off to Belgium for Spa-Francorchamps. Then to Singapore for the 2nd of May. Monza for our 3rd and final sprint race of the season on the 9th of May. Then we go to the Netherlands for Circuit Zandvoort. Interlagos follows in Brazil. And then we finish on the 30th of May at Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix. Everything is live from 9 o'clock here on Black Flag Racing TV. And there might be some surprise guests joining me on comms throughout the season, but no guarantees. No guarantees at all. Right, so just BC Games left to set a lap. Everybody else has put one in. Blumchum on pole. Drew Cam's happy with that. Currently sits on the front row alongside. Danny's put that McLaren onto row 2 with Lutevent joining him. That's a couple of new drivers up in the top 5. That's good to see. Current reigning champion Dunners in 5th. Moggy running in 6th. We'll sit on that 3rd row with Dunners. Ryan and Riley on row 4. 7th and 8th. And that is a massive slide.
You can't park that there, mate.
I couldn't find a button. There you go, found it. Becken and Joseph. That's a slow lap from Joseph. Joseph's normally pretty quick. This is indicative of pace. Everybody's getting faster. So Joseph and Becken are on row 5. The Hunter and Wolsey on row 6. Sam Volvo on row 7 with either Error or BC Games. BC Games still not set a lap, and there's not much time left. They must be incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. I've talked before about the importance of putting in any lap, a banker lap, whatever it is. Sam Volvo's done that. It's not the fastest lap, I know it's 10 seconds off Wolsey, but time has run out, and BC Games not set a lap here in qualifying, so we'll start from the very back of the grid. Error in 14th, although they at least they went on track, so that's why they started in 14th place. So that's how it lines up. Blumchum from Drew Cam, Danny from Leuven. I can't say it. I'll change your name to Steve. Dunners from Moggy, Ryan from Riley, Becken, Joseph, The Hunter, Wolsey, Sam Volvo, Error, then BC Games. I don't think anyone else is still on the hot lap, are they? Blumchum doesn't look to be going super quick there. We'll find out when he crosses the line if he's trying to improve that time. He does improve slightly, 29.7 for him, but he was already on pole anyway. It means nothing. Is Danny going faster? Danny is going pretty quick. So he managed to squeeze a final lap in. Excuse me. I want to have his lap data to see how quick Danny is going. I don't see a purple thingy, which suggests to me that he's not quicker. He comes round that final corner, really hot-footing it in that McLaren. He's got a slower car ahead. Is that going to impede him a little bit? Doesn't look like it, because they peel off into the pits. And round he comes. He crosses the line and puts himself on the front row. So, front row with Blumchum for WRS Danny in his debut race. Dunners and Drucam on row 2 in the Ferrari lockout. The great Ferrari lockout of March 2023. Moggy on row 3. Row 4 is Ryan and Riley. Row 5 is Becken and Joseph. That's a slow lap from Joseph. Quite surprised. Joseph's usually a little bit racier than that. The Hunter and Wolsey on row 6. Sam Volvo row 7 with Error, who didn't complete a hot lap. Neither did BC Games, who will start from the very, very back. Just waiting. What are we waiting for? That's what we're waiting for. The timer to time down. Now, strangely, Ryan set his best lap on medium compound tyres. Does he know he did that? That's the question. Is he aware that he did that on medium tyres? Interesting. Interesting. I'm sure he does. So, Blumchum from Danny, Dunners from Drucam, Lutevent from Moggy, Lutevent from Germany, of course. Trying to see where all these new people are from. Danny from the UK. Ryan and Riley on row 4. Row 5 is Becken, also from Germany. Is Germany not Belgium? Yeah, it is Germany. Yeah, of course it is. Joseph joins Becken. The Hunter and Wolsey. Then it's Sam Volvo, Error and BC Games, also from Germany. It's not Belgium, is it? No, it's Germany. I can tell the difference between a Belgian flag and a German flag, surely. You would have thought, wouldn't you? So, we've got 2 races here. 25% race first. And then we take the top 10 and we flip it on its head and reverse the grid. And 10th will be first and first will be 10th. And then we go again for a 50% feature race here at the awesome Jeddah race circuit in Saudi Arabia. This is Late Night Racing F1 season number 7, round number 1, live here on Black Flag Racing TV, and all 12 rounds will be live every single week, unless of course I'm unavailable, which doesn't happen often, not often at all. I think I've got everything I need. I have indeed. I don't know, it looks to me, oh that's right. It looks to me like my screen is a little bit off, but it's not. It is what it is. Right, so, just waiting for everybody to check in and we can get cracking. We are missing a few drivers today. While we do the formation lap, I can go through who we're missing, if you like. If you like. I forgot to play the last season video. Oh, what bell end. I was going to play that, I forgot. I got excited. Excited so much. Lutevent, so he's now Haas full-time Lutevent. Okay, that's useful information. Where is all the teams? I do have it somewhere. Right, so it's Wolsey and Brent in the Rebels. There's no Brent. Oh, it's BC Games is Brent. So just to confuse matters, have 2 different names. Why don't you? Danny and Mad Max and the I'm assuming Danny is Grimy. His new name? I don't freaking know. See, I've got a list of names and what seats are in, and then I've got 2 completely different, and they've all got different names in the thingy. Bob. Blumchum and Ryan. They've got the same names up there they got on the sheet. That makes my life easier. See, Crofty doesn't have this problem because their names are the same. McShmee and Connor in the Alfa Romeo. There's no McShmee there. McShmee was caught in the Red Bull last time around. He's pretty damn racy, of course. Sam and BC Games DSQ'd. Sam at the back, and I'm assuming that is to do with the incident. Actually, just because he's stuck in the grid. Right, so Blumchum will move into his box and be lined up ready to go for this race number 1 here at Jeddah. 25% race with 13 laps around here, and it will be over as quickly as a flash. We will go on board with, for the start, I like to go into 5th or 6th, which is a good place. As he's new, we'll go on board with Luke Devent, and he will, of course, be on the outside into turn 1. In terms of tyres, it looks to me that most are going to start on the red-ringed soft compound tyres. There's 2 lights, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. They go out, and what happens? We are away. That's a great start from Luke Devent. Going to gain at least 1 place there over Trucam. Splits those Ferraris into turn 1. Are we all through safely? Well, it looks to be. He's made that move, little bit of touchy, but nothing doing. Dunners makes his way up into 2nd. Trucam just gets the run out up into 3rd. And Moggy is out already of this race. And we've got a oh, that is a massive hit. This Sam Volvo, I'm sorry, but you don't have a clue what you're doing, my friend. What the hell is going on?
How dare you?
You have stolen my dreams with your...
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Yeah, he's a little bit crashy. I hope this is not indicative of things to come, because in his first race so far, his first hot lap in qualifying, he hit 2 people, and he's just had an absolute massive smash here on the opening lap of the race. Somehow managing to get himself into a level place, but he's going to have no front wing on that car in the slightest. Not going to be able to get it out. Oh, he's going to go in the water. Oh, he manages to rescue it. I don't know how he did that. But we've got a full safety car, and we have lost Moggy from this race. Now, was that from an accident, or did he just lose his car into turn 1? Or was he just so excited to be underway that he just, like, and crashed? Who knows? Who knows? But not the greatest of starts. It's got to be said. Blumchum, Dunners made a great start. Danny stays in 3rd, starting 3rd. Ludovic had a great start, got ahead of Trucam before the safety car kicked in. Ryan in 6th, Riley in 7th, Joseph in 8th place. BC Games is in 9th, Becken in 10th, Sam Volvo on PC, driving like a JCB. Sam Volvo on his PC, he drives it like a JCB. Yeah, he's a bit crashy, is Sam. I'm going to call him crashy man. Remember, he's driving it like it is a Volvo, and it can't be destroyed, but clearly it can. Yeah, a couple of big hits for him so far. Doesn't bode well for the future. There's his teammate, the Hunter, who can't get into the pits because Sam's in there having extensive work done to his car. That's going to cost the Hunter an extraordinarily long amount of time. Incredibly disappointing for him because his teammate held him up for a long time. Even though it's technically a cheap pit stop under safety car, it's going to cost the Hunter a fortune in time. So we're here at Jeddah. This is race number 1. We have had a first lap safety car. We've lost Moggy from this race already. Last year's Ferrari driver, of course, one half of the Constructors' Championship duo. Where is the pole sitter? He's disappeared. So Dunners in the lead of this race then. It's all gone a little bit peaked on. Danny way down in 10th place now. So it's Dunners from Luke Devent, from Trucam, from Riley, from Joseph, BC Games, Becken, Error, Blumchum, Danny, Ryan, Sam, Crashy, Volvo, Wolsey, and the Hunter. And we lost Moggy, unfortunately. Under safety car, we'll wait and see how long it is before that AMG Mercedes, the best looking of the 2 safety cars. Good evening, Paul. I hope you are still refreshed from your holiday to the United States, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, mate. You missed an absolute doozy of a race in the last one for the finale at Smoking and Pirelli's, mate. It was an absolute stonking race. The two championship contenders went in with just 9 points between them into the last race and raced one behind the other for the entire. Yeah, it is looking really good, mate. Yeah, they raced behind one another for the entire race, and their teams were both in it for constructors, and they were both in it for the championship, and they ended up crashing into each other 3 laps from the end, handing one the championship and handing the other one the constructors championship. It was a absolutely stonking race, one of the best races I've seen in a long, long time, and I got really, really excited and a little bit of sex, mate. So, first lap safety car, it got very crashy very quick. Didn't see what happened to Moggy, but he's gone already. If he wants to jump on the stream and tell me what happened, that'd be great. Even if it's just in the chat, just so I can keep up to date. We've seen Sam Volvo drive like he's driving a bulldozer. He did it in qualifying, he did it again on that one. I'm hoping that's the last we see of those kind of shenanigans, and that he's actually paying attention to what's going on. Yeah, so just waiting for the safety car to come in here at Jeddah. And this is the problem with Jeddah, with tracks like Jeddah. You've got so many walls littered around that you know, the slightest of smashes and crashes and bumps, and very easy to not only destroy your car or the cars of those around you, but also to put yourself into a position where you've got a number of safety cars. And it's, the irony is that turn one looked pretty all right from the line. We saw Lutovic make a great start and jump up a couple of places, but it's, I tell you what is amazing to see. It's the current reigning 2-time LNR World Champion of the world in the lead of this race, currently done as the safety car is going to peel off. We'll go on board with Joseph in the AlphaTauri, just because we can. And yeah, so the safety car has peeled away. They'll all come round this final turn. Safety car disappears into the pits with old Bert in it. You walk nearly 100 kilometres. Why would you go on holiday and then put that much effort into doing anything? And so Joseph, great start from Joseph. Is he going to make the move? He does make the move. Oh, he's not. They're still not. What's going on? What's going on? That is Blumchum absolutely stonking forward. Is he allowed to? Because it looks to me that Dunners didn't actually get away. Dunners is ghosted, so he couldn't actually restart the race. What the hell is going on? BC Games has a crash with Joseph. Something is going horribly, horribly wrong here because they're ignoring yellow flags. Blumchum retired. What's going on? So we've had a problem somewhere because Dunners couldn't get the race restarted. Yeah, he couldn't. He's clearly had a disconnection issue of some sort, and yeah, he couldn't get the race restarted, and then I don't know what's going on. Parked in the danger zone. I think we're restarting the lobby. I have a funny feeling this race is being restarted. It looks like Dunners, essentially what's happened is Dunners had a problem, and as the lead car, it's his job to get the race restarted, and he couldn't, and then lots of cars dive through, and it all went a little bit horribly wrong. So, retiring from this session, it looks like what we're doing. So let's yeah, red flag. I thought it would be. I thought it would be. It is a very knackered lobby. I did wonder what was going on because people started disappearing. So we'll quit the main menu and we'll start again, shall we? There we go. I'll tell you what we'll do, because I forgot to do it when we jumped in, is let's do this. Recap of last season. there's a bit of a coming together. There are a few cars involved. He wasn't quite close enough coming out of turn 14 to make that move, but he does make the move coming out of turn 1. The house, and away we go. Actually, good start with Killers. What a choice to go with him. That is a brilliant start already. Uh, 4.7 seconds here. What can anyone do to stop this guy? He is just so quick. Jay, he's you can't find it there, mate. 3/10 of a second. It's 1/10 of a second, and here he goes. He makes the move up into second. Dunners takes second place. What an absolute last lap charge from the reigning champion. And look at that, some great shot of the rear wing opening. Dunners makes the move, and again it doesn't stick. Side by side they go, and back again comes Dunners. Just everything he's got up the inside this time. Who's going to hold it? Dunners does make the move stick. Error comes home in second place. What a result from Error. Gets in there, my son. And they are 5 lights, and those 5 lights are out, and we are away for 14 laps here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're on board with Dunners, your new champion, your old champion, and your new champion. Perfect timing as the new lobby just arrives. I'd love to take credit for that video. That video was awesome. That was all the work of Riley did that. That was Aaron Riley did a great job with that video. Yeah, I was well impressed with that. A little bit jealous as well because it's top-notch shizzle. Right, so it's been a little bit exciting to start off with, isn't it? We had a bit of carnage in qualifying. We had an absolute first lap pile up is probably the best expression, with some people driving like absolute terrorists. One in particular, I don't know if he's coming back after that, to be fair. I'd be pretty ashamed of myself if I'd been driving. I mean, I'm not the best driver in the world, but my God, that was an absolute crash fest. And then, of course, after the safety car restart, the lobby went pfft. The lobby decided to... Denied. We asked the lobby and it denied us. So we have to go again. New lobby. I'm sure they'll set the grid and everything else will be as it was. So 25% race, followed by a 50% race. And yeah, the season can finally get underway. How about that? I should probably not forget to do that before the race starts as well. That would be a useful thing to do. So everyone is back, bar who? There he is. Lieutenant is heading back. I think we're waiting for the final PC user, Mr. Crashy himself. I don't know if he's coming back, to be fair. Well, that's 13. That's the 13 runners we were expecting, with 2 more still to come. Back shortly. think everyone is here. I'm just trying to see who's missing. We've got 14 of the 15 we were expecting. So just one more to come. Well, I can't work out who it is. And when they turn up, I'll be like, oh, it's that one. Yeah, so Moggy's in, Blumchum is in. The Hunter is here, Riley's here, Drew Cam, of course, Wolsey, Danny is here, Era is the host, he's here, Ryan is here in the Williams, Dunners, the reigning champion, of course, in the Fezzer, Joseph in the Avatari is here, BC Games is, Loot Devent is in the Haas, and Sam, Crushy Man Volvo, is here as well. But we are short a couple. We started with 15. Oh, there we go. There's a Becken. He is back. That's 14, 15. Just one more to come, and then we can get cracking, I think. Yeah, this is the thing about sim racing. Sometimes it's the lobby, and there's nothing we can do about it. And it makes a change actually that it's an F1 lobby that's cocking up and not a GT7 lobby. Because usually when we have lobby issues it's with GT7. But today it's firmly a problem for F1 2022. I don't know what caused it, but I can tell you what happened. We had, after a very crashy first lap, we had a safety car. And then the safety car went to come in. And as that safety car came in, it was down to Dunners to take control of the race, and nothing happened. He couldn't take control of the race. He was ghosted out, and then lots of cars overtook each other, and there was lots of penalties being handed out unnecessarily, and So we had to red flag and start again for knackered lobby. That's the 15. Everyone can now check in and get cracking, because we've still got 2 races to do. We've got 25%. And we've got a 50% 13 laps followed by 26 laps of the feature race. And who can remember the qualifying order? Not me. I'm trying to picture it in my head. And if I remember rightly, I think we had, was it the Dunners? The 2 Ferraris were on road 2, knocked out road 2. I can tell you that for certain. Blumchum was on pole in the Williams, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure, I am mistaken because I can't remember, I think it was Drew Cam. No, Drew Cam was with Dunners in the Ferrari, so that would have been 3rd and 4th, looking at the 2nd row. I can't remember. I don't even know what I'm trying to remember because I can't. Oh, Danny was up there, wasn't he? Yeah, I think Danny was 2nd. He was either 2nd or 3rd. But I haven't got to remember it. I'm sure someone has got the information. Just waiting for it to get sorted. Talk amongst yourselves. I need to get like some little online games to play up on the screen there while we wait for lobby problems to get solved. I'm bloody starving. We ate quite early today, and I don't mind that, but the problem is that this is like getting a bit peckish. That's what happens when you're fat. You just want to eat more food. And I wasn't trying to grab something, but I've got to stay up anyway because we boys are home from playing Rocket League for his university again. I say again like it's a bad thing. You know, he's paid to do it. So why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Right, here we go. Countdown has started, and we can get going. Awesomeness. We'll go straight to the race, of course, straight into the 13-lap race here at Jeddah in Saudi Arabia for the first of 12 races in this season 7 of late night racing. And the reigning champion Dunners will look to make it 3 championships in a row. And I was looking back through the archive earlier, and if I remember rightly, I think Blumchum has been a constructors champion quite a lot. I'm just going to check. I'm sure it was Blumchum. When I was looking at constructor history, the trophy cabinet, I'm pretty sure he's had a lot of. It's a season 5 standings. Yeah, I can't find it now. Where is it? I can't remember where I saw it. Just wait for everyone checking while I look for this. I can't remember where I saw it now. Yeah, I think I was looking back. Wherever I saw it, I'm pretty sure Blumchum has been involved in the Constructors' Championship more than any other racer. Yeah, there I found it. Hall of Fame. Yeah, so Blumchum has been 3 times. He's been a Constructors' Champion. Season 1 with Dunners. Season 5, and he's actually 2 in a row for him. Season 5 again with Dunners in the McLaren, and last season with Moggy. So that's 3 times he has been Constructors' Champion. Moggy twice. Season 4 in the Red Bull, and we started to race straight. Not even a formation lap. So straight into the lap. I apologise for that. I thought we were doing a formation lap, but we're not. So we're straight away racing, and it's Blumchum leads away from Danny. Dunners in 3rd place. Looks like we got through quite safely this time without crashing. Apologies for that. I was chatting away about something else and the race started. I could have done that while there was nothing going on. So we are safe. Nobody has died this time. We're having a look through, just making sure everyone is where they should be. This is a formation lap, isn't it? They don't look like they're racing to me. Maybe they are. Error's 4.4 seconds back already. So there is Blumchum. He's out in the front of everybody. Danny in 2nd, Dunners in 3rd, and Drew Cam in the other Ferrari there in 4th place. Ryan in 5th, Ludivent in 6th, 7th is Riley, Becken is 8th, Moggy in 9th, BC Games and Wolsey teammates, both in the Red Bulls in 10th and 11th. The Hunter and Sam crashing Volvo in the 2 Alfa Romeos. They are, and that was a wing disappearing. That is it looked like a part of a Haas. Whose wing was that? Was that an AlphaTauri wing? Well, yeah, it looks like a bit of that AlphaTauri missing, certainly. And was that Sam crashy Volvo involved again? I think it was. Sam the Crash Volvo involved in another issue. So, here we go. Lap 1, another safety car. This time it is a virtual safety car. Joseph, Sam and Error all into the pits. So it's Blumchum leads from Danny. Dunners in 3rd, already 1.4 seconds back. Everybody starting on the soft compound tyres. If we look through, can't see anybody running. Oh, there we go. The highest running car is 9th, running on medium compounds. That's Moggy. And it's softs for BC Games. It's soft for I think Wolsey's on the softs as well. No, Wolsey's running on the mediums. The Hunter on the softs. Joseph on the hard compound tyres. Interesting. But he has just pit, so he's running to the end of this 13-lap race. Now he won't pit again. Sam Crashy Volvo in the with the medium compound tyres. Although he'll probably he might as well just put on softs because he's going to be he'll probably crash again soon and have to go back in. And there's Error in the final position on the soft tyres. That's not part of the racetrack there, Error. That bit is. Yeah, it's the black bit with the tyre skin marks on it. So Danny has taken the lead of this race. Excuse me, ahead of Blumchum, and already putting a second clear here at Jeddah. And once that's DRS is now enabled. We've finally got some DRS. No more safety cars, and we have some DRS. This should make things interesting as Riley makes a position up on Becken up into 7th. The Hunter making a move on Wolsey up into 11th. Wolsey's running on the medium compound tyre, so we'll be giving up a little bit of grip with the harder compound of the 2 tyres. This is not the hardest compound. Was talking this week. I've been talking to a number of people about the liveries on the cars for this season. But I mean, even you look at last season, some of the liveries are great. And you know, I do love McLaren as a team, but their livery is freaking horrible. And you know, a lot of people love the Ferraris, they love the Red Bull ones, but for me, I find them really boring. Look, I know it's a very iconic thing. This is, you know, that's their colour, that's their car, that's, you know, instantly recognisable. But just don't have fun with it. I think Mercedes-Benz this year has brought out a really, really, really good-looking car. Which is odd for me to say because I'm not, as everyone knows, I'm really not a Mercedes-Benz fan. I just don't. I don't like Mercedes-Benz because they were given a sweetheart deal to enter the sport and guaranteed dominance for 10 years, and I don't think that's any way to run a sport. And the moment that runs out, clearly they're not that dominant anymore. Anyway, moving on. This is Danny. He leads the way. Fastest lap 132.7. Lap 4 here at Jeddah. Have we gone now past the realm of safety cars and safely onto just being able to race? There's Blumchum in the Williams running in second place. Then it is a Feza lockout. Third and fourth, Dunner's reigning champion, and Drew Cam in the Ferraris. They're running third and fourth. A little bit of a gap between the teammates at the moment, but if it stays like this, going into the feature race, they will lead the Constructors' Championship. Although that means nothing in race number one, of course, it means nothing. Penalty for Lutvent in fifth place. In the Haas, he is on those soft compound tyres. The pit window is going to be in a lap or so for those on those softs. Probably lap 5, lap 6 maybe. He's got one or two compounds, of course. Ryan running in sixth place in the Williams. His teammate is up into second place at the moment, Blumchum, the pole sitter, of course. Riley running in the AMG Mercedes-Benz. In seventh place, he's ahead of BC Games. The highest at the moment Red Bull runner. Up in eighth, he's ahead of Moggy in the Aston Martin. I don't know why I said that like I couldn't remember what it was called. It's an Aston Martin. Everyone knows it. Becken in the second Haas. He's running in 10th place. 1.5 seconds ahead of the Hunter. Who at the moment is being the hunted because Woolsey is trying to close down on him, but had to slow down because he nearly hit the Woolsey. And this means he's just dropped off a little bit and not able to make that move. But Becken into the pits. So through Woolsey goes Drew Cab into the pits as well. Very, very wide. A very, very wide Hunter there. Gets hunted and Woolsey catches him and he's through up into ninth place. So, yeah, so just a little bit deep into that corner went the Hunter. He didn't hit a wall, but he did go very wide and loses that place to Woolsey. So Woolsey up to 8 places. He makes the move on. What's going on there? He caught Riley as well. The Hunter, is he going to catch him? Why is the Riley going so slow? I don't know. Why is the Riley going so slow? Because his name's not the Riley, it's just Aaron Riley. But yeah, he got caught there. There's a penalty there for Becken. 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. Penalties for Lutvent, for Becken, and for Joseph. I don't know why I said it like that. I assume it's just said it's Joseph. That's not part of the racetrack there. That's why you got that penalty. Thoroughly deserved because you took the piss with the track limits. Back in 12th is Becken, just picked up another penalty. Joseph there in 13th. Error running in 14th ahead of Sam Volvo Crashy Man. But there's your leader just coming into the pits for his first stop. Blumchum carries on through onto the lead of the race. Now, this is where he goes hammer time because he's going to have to pit still, as has Dunners. Moggy also, I think, has to pit. So these guys, basically, they're ahead of Danny. What they need to do is hammer time, properly give it some, and see, particularly Blumchum and Dunners, it's important for them to get as much of a gap as possible before they then dive into the pits themselves for their tyre change and see if they can leapfrog Danny in that pit window or get themselves closer or whatever they need to do. But essentially Blumchum needs to get round quickly, in quickly, and then back out quickly. Or hope that in the next couple of corners there's a safety car and he gets a nice free pit stop, which will be lovely jubbly. Well, not free, but certainly much, much cheaper in terms of time, of course, because you don't pay for them. Well, you do, of course, you've got money to run an F1 team. But yes, so he will be hoping for either a nice bit of speed to get him out ahead. Now, Blumton will go in and we'll keep an eye on where Danny is on the racetrack. In a minute, he's just in sector 2, I think, sector 3. So round comes Blumchum. He'll get back on that power, just avoiding that. Very tricky, that last turn there, because that wall kind of comes back at you. So in goes Blumchum into the pits. We'll see him reach his pit box, slowing down to very, very slow. It's like 50k or something crazy, like 40k, whatever it is. Right, there's Danny. He's just rounding the final corner now. He's stuck behind the Red Bull of Wolsey, who is on the medium tyres. Now, has Blumchum got back out? Well, Moggy takes the lead of this race. Wolsey in second. Danny is ahead of Blumchum, but only just. That is very, very close. Blumchum was very close. It's 3.4 seconds. So he didn't actually do him any good at all. Danny is crawling all over the back of Wolsey, trying to get that. And Wolsey does still need to pit, of course. As does, I think, Moggy. So does Danny push hard, or does he just wait for Wolsey to dive into the pits and put on some soft compound tyres? Danny does make a move round the outside into the braking zone. He's ahead and he's up into second place. Racing very, very well at the minute is Danny. And another penalty for Becken. Let's have a look at just how many penalties are going on right now. That's what I look at, penalties. So, 3 seconds for Luke DeVent. That will put him, as it currently stands, behind Ryan in 8th place. That will drop him down 1 place. 6 seconds for Becken. That will drop him behind A. Riley, who is 5.9 seconds back. Although that time seems to be opening up a bit, so it might be all right for him. Joseph with a 5-second penalty. Don't know what's going on with Joseph. Usually he's quicker than this. So either everybody else has got quicker or he has got slower. He is 5 seconds worth of penalties, but that won't affect him because he is 10 seconds ahead of the Hunter. He has 8 seconds worth of penalties, but he is 40 seconds ahead of Sam Volvo Crashidoon. An error in 15th place, 4.3 seconds behind the Crashy Man. I'm going to continue calling Crashy Man until if he gets to the end of this race without another crash, then I won't call him Crashy Man next week. Promise. There's your race leader, Moggy's 4.8 seconds clear. Pit stops. Who has done what stops? Moggy and Wolsey, the only two to not have stopped thus far. Are they banking on a safety car? I think they might be. They both started on the harder of the 2 compounds. They started on the medium compound tyre. So they're going to run on softs for the last 4 or 5 laps. So I imagine we'll see them come in. End of lap 8, end of lap 9, maybe even lap 10 if they're really brave. But we know that those soft tyres will do 5 laps quite easily. So it's about when they feel comfortable with putting those soft tyres on. So Moggy currently running in the lead. He's 3.8 seconds clear of Danny. But, of course, Danny's going to take the lead when Moggy pits. So it's really about Blumchum. Can Blumchum close the gap? Currently 4.8 seconds, but look at that. It's a three side-by-side battling it out there. Blumchum losing out. Dunners moves up into 4th. Blumchum and Ryan in 5th and 6th. Can't find a way through. He's absolutely stuck there at the minute, Blumchum, behind Ryan. They've both got DRS. Really, really odd situation because they keep changing places constantly. That is an Alfa Romeo that it was pointing in the wrong direction at some stage. That is the Alfa Romeo of who? Is that Crashy Man? I think it may well be. It is. That is the Alfa Romeo of Crashy Man, Sam Volvo. He is way back in 15th place now and struggling. But Ludwig out of this race. Where is he on the track? He is facing in the wrong direction. There is the Hunter. There is Riley. He'll come around the corner and there will be a very, 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 very stricken Haas. So Ludwig out of this race. And that is absolute bonus for Wolsey and for Moggy. because they get a cheap stop. Wolsey hasn't taken the opportunity to go in just yet. Was he too far past the line when it called? Possibly he was. So actually, the longer this goes on and he hasn't gone in, the more he's going to suffer here, as everyone just bunches back up behind the safety car. It looks to me that he was just past the point of no return, past that pit entrance, before the yellow flag came out and then the safety car flashed up, and found himself stuck on track. But then saying that, Moggy did make it in. So was it a conscious decision by Wolsey to stay out then, maybe? Who knows? Who knows? It may well have. It's either...
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Or a moment of absolute genius. And it turns out it wasn't a moment of genius. He's in the pits now. And where does he come out? That's the big question. He will come out, I think. Who's going through now? There's a few cars coming through. Agonising, because you can see just over the wall these cars flying down. Ryan may be through. Where did he pop out? So Wolsey pops out in 8th place. That's a big drop, actually. So Danny in the lead. That 1.2 second lead will be cut right down by Dunners as he closes in under the safety car. This is lap 10 off 13 here at Jeddah for this 25% race. We did finally get a race underway after a first lobby crashing nightmare, which I'm still getting the shakes from. I'm talking the shakes, I'm freaking freezing. It feels like there's a door or a window open somewhere, but I don't think there is. Could be my missus upstairs. She's got a thing about leaving the window. She loves the window open upstairs in the bedroom to make it freezing bloody cold. So you have to basically wear 18 layers of clothes and hide under the covers. Right, so does the safety car come in this lap? That's the big question. And if it does, is this the last time we're going to see it today? We saw it on lap 1 in the first broken fated lobby. We saw it on lap 1 in this lobby. We didn't see this, we saw a virtual safety car. Same thing though, it's kind of like a real safety car, but it's not actually there. But Danny leads the way from Dunners, Blumchump in 3rd, Drew Cam in 4th, BC Games running really well in 5th place actually. Joined us last week. Moggy running in 6th, Riley running in 7th, Wolsey in 8th, that's where he came out after the pit stop, the cheap pit stop that he got under the safety car. Hunter in 9th, Ryan in 10th, Joseph running in 11th, not having the quickest of races today, maybe Jeddah's just not his thing. Becken is in 12th, Erra, in 13th place, and he is miles ahead of Sam Crashy Volvo, who's in the pits again. Man, he crashes a lot. He makes fingers look like Michael Schumacher. So, does the safety car come in? No, it doesn't. We're round again. So, if the safety car comes in this lap, which we hope it does, we will essentially have 2 racing laps remaining here in this first race before we move on to the future, which will be 26 laps. Joseph is dropping. I think he was in the wrong position behind the safety car, so just had to drop back into his correct position of 11th. 3-second time penalty for Becken. So these penalties really are going to come into play here, because we've only got at most 2 racing laps left of this race. So here we go, and it's agonisingly slow on these street circuits behind the safety car, because you're travelling at it's quite a long racetrack in the scheme of things, in the scheme of Formula 1 tracks. It's quite a long track, and so when you're looking at sort of 1 minute 30 laps, where the majority of them are kind of 112, 113, 114, 115, 118, that kind of level. This is, to take this long to get around is just agonising. I don't want to do that. I've done the wrong buttons. That's the thing I wanted. I wanted to bring up the lap data for everybody. At the minute, these laps are taking well over 2 minutes to get done behind the safety car. It's going to be tomorrow by the time we're finished at this rate. But Danny leads the way. Safety car in this lap? I don't think so. I think it is because it's far enough ahead. So let's go on board with BC Games in the Red Bull. Then we can get a good look at the 4 cars ahead. Who are those who are on soft compound tyres? I think actually it's just Moggy and Woolsey behind these cars that are on the soft compound. So it'd be interesting to see if they can make a move forward. So straight away we're on the power and away goes Danny. Doesn't catch any of them really sleeping, although BC Games a little bit. In fact, Dunner's caught massively sleeping. 1.4 seconds. So Danny just caught them all out and off he went. Dunner's got to try and chase him down now, but a big ask to do for 2 laps at the end of this race. So Danny leads the way. He's on the mediums. Dunner's on the mediums. Then we've got Blumchum. He's going to be on those medium tyres. Of course he is. That's Joseph making a move on the Hunter, dropping down 2 places, down to 12th position. Drew Cam. He drew a camera, and we all said that's a really cool picture of the camera. And yeah, he's running in 4th place, ahead of BC Games. BC Games on his debut. Good performance from him in the top 5 there on his first race with the late night racing crew. He's ahead of Moggy at the moment, but Moggy on the soft compound tyres will be coming at Cleopatra, and he'll be looking for a way through as quickly as humanly possible. Riley in 7th place, watching that battle ahead unfold. Trying to see if there's anyone else that's really having a battle. There's not really that many battles on the racetrack at the moment. Just this one at the moment, which is Moggy. And Joseph out of this race. Does that mean we end under safety car? Doesn't look like it. It looks like we're still going racing as BC Games and Drew Cam duking it out ahead. And this means that Moggy can't make the overtake because they're side by side. Danny with the fastest lap. Dunners responds with a faster lap still. And do we see Moggy? He certainly thought about going through the middle there. Definitely thought about it. And then he thought, should I go left? And he thought, should I go right? Round the outside. Does he take both of them or none of them? Or just BC Games? He gets BC Games. But Riley also gets through just behind. You can see in that Mercedes-Benz. He gets through up into 6th. And this is Moggy on a charge for the top 4. This is the final lap of the race. And we're heading down now. And he's tucked nicely in behind that Ferrari of Drew Cam is Moggy. There's another penalty there for error to serve. Nobody in the top 6 now has a penalty to serve, which means that they won't, if they want to change position, they've got to do it with an overtake. And there he is on the power. He's got those soft compound tyres, gives him the extra grip around the corner. So it's basically defend mode from Drew Cam. 4.8 seconds now outside the top 3. And I don't want to leave this battle, but Danny is going to cross the line very soon. Here comes Moggy. Is he going to make this move now? This could be a really good opportunity for him around this little chicaney section. No, he's not close enough here. And DRS incoming. Here it is. Rear wing will open. No, it won't. So he's tucked in behind at the moment. Can he make the move? Anyway, we've got to watch this guy cross the line. Here comes Danny. Round the final corner. He crossed the line. Dunners just half a second back in 2nd. There comes Blumchum in 3rd. Drew Cam and Moggy still duking it out. Can Moggy make it through? Drew Cam just from Moggy. Then from Ryan. Wolsey home in 7th place. 8th will be BC Games. 9th will be Becken. The Hunter in 10th. Error in 11th. Riley out of this race right at the death in 12th position, but there's your winner, Danny, of course. Joseph out a couple of laps ago, 13th. Sam Crashy Man Volvo in 14th, still running. He's done 177 pit stops, and he's crashed a lot, and he's moved up to 13th place. He will finish his race eventually, but probably halfway through the feature race of 26 laps. But Danny is your winner for this first race of the season here at Jeddah for late night racing, which means he starts 10th on the grid. So your grid for race number 2, your 50% feature race, will feature Hunter as your, or the Hunter as your pole sitter. There, of course, is your race winner. Moggy driver of the day, he did make a big charge towards the end there. But winner, chicken dinner. Right, and then on to the feature race we go. And I hope we haven't got a break in between, because we've had a massive break already with all the shenanigans going in. Damn, I drink too fast. I've got a hot burny thing. Not hot burn, you know, like when you got your drink too fast. Need to burp. I won't some ginger today, of course. Right, so there we go. So good start from Danny, who is either grimy or one other, with a name change, which is really freaking annoying. Good racing. Done us with the fastest lap, 1:31.6. Finishing in second, Blumchum in third in the Williams racing car. Two in the top five for the Fezzers, with Drew Camp coming home in fourth in the Ferrari. Moggy in the Aston Martin home in fifth. Ryan for Williams in sixth. Wolsey and BC Games, two Red Bull drivers, seventh and eighth. Beckham for Haas comes home in ninth position. The Hunter in 10th place with just the 1 point there. Error in the AlphaTauri coming home in 11th. Hey Riley, Sam, Volvo, Crashy Man, Joseph and Lou Vent for the Haas, bringing up the rear with a did not finish. So there we go. Going to reverse the grid for this second race, and bear with me, I'm going to go and put my heating on because I'm going to die otherwise. Just waiting for the new lobby to start. Yeah, just taking its time a little bit, slowly. But we've got a new driver. Reflection has made their way into the lobby for the feature race. Not have they? Who's Reflection? Not seen Reflection before. I suppose I have. Every time I look into a mirror, I see Reflection. Ha! Thank you very much. Here a week. But it's not a new person, so it's like an extra person. I'm confused. A good win from Danny last time out, a really good win there from him. Dunners. So basically, your top 10. That's how it looks so far in the championship, of course. But the top 10 for the feature race coming up will be the Hunter will be on pole, front row with Becken. BC Games and Wolsey on row 2. Ryan and Moggy will be on row 3. Drew Cam and Blumchum on row 4. Row 5 will be Dunners and Danny. And then everyone else will just be where they are. Era, Riley, and Sam Crashy Volvo, and Lutivent, and then this Reflection Dude, whoever that is, and then not me, because I'm ticked in as a spectator. I've only made that cock up once of forgetting to click spectator and then end up having a ghost car. I actually picked up 10 points in that race and I didn't even drive the car, not even once. It was quite funny though. So just waiting for this to crack on. We've got no one tipped in yet, man. Come on, boys. What shit to doing? It's like 10:30 at night. Need my beauty sleep. No idea. I'm genuinely not looking forward to going to work tomorrow. We're doing a payo thing in a minute, right? And genuinely, it is properly cold out there. We're having concrete poured tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be horrible because we've obviously got to level out the concrete while it's being poured. And then we've got, we've got shit to do anyway. But it's going to be rubbish. Rubbish. Especially in this weather where it's like, what is it? It's like 0 degrees at the moment. Freezing. Actual freezing. Come on, people. Ticky, tick. Yeah, I was going through the archives, wasn't I? Let me carry on going through the archives while we're waiting for this lot to finish having a poo or do whatever they're doing. Because they're clearly taking their time. Yeah, where's the archive stuff? Hall of Fame. Right, so Blumchum is 3-time Constructors Champion, that's what I was saying. Twice in a row, so season 5 and season 6. And looking to do it for a 3rd time in a row, season 7. Constructors wise, well, Moggy's done quite well. Moggy has won it twice. Once with Red Bull in season 4, and again last season with Ferrari. Dunners has won it twice, season 1 and season 5. Drew Cam and RP Lai won it season 3. Riley and RP Lai won it season 6. So RP Lai has won a couple. I haven't seen him around for a while actually. Wonder where he has gone. Joseph, who wasn't looking soon. Oh, that's why he's disappeared. He's not there. That's why we've still only got 15 or whatever we've got. He didn't have a great race today, but he is super quick. But he was season 3 champion. Riley won season 1 and 2, and season 4. So he's won 3 of the 6 completed seasons. So I actually didn't know that. Interesting to know that he is a 3-time champion. So Dunner's looking to equal his record if he wins it this time out. Of course, he would have done it 3 times in a row, which is better, apparently. And Riley won the pre-season tournament, of course, which we had last week. You would have caught that here on Black Flag Racing TV, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's it. That's the archive delved through. People are starting to tick in now, but we still haven't got a countdown. What's coming up this week on Black Flag Racing TV? Okay, well, at least I'll tell you what's coming up. Tomorrow we're back with GR3, the Open GR3 round 7. That'll be tomorrow from 7:45, and then something very special tomorrow night. It's the start of a 3-race GR1 tournament. So that's your Porsche 919s and that kind of ilk of car. And that's for high pro 3 90-minute races over the next 3 weeks, starting tomorrow evening from 11:30 or 11:15. Race starts at 11:30 UK time. That I'm looking forward to. Then Thursday we're back with Smoking Pirellis for the final round of the Thursday Tier 1 before we back over onto GT7 for the I think penultimate round of the brilliant Subaru versus Subaru WRX versus the Lancer Evo competition we've been doing, which is looking pretty darn awesome. Then we've got on Friday, we've got another round with Eurotrix F1. Looking forward to that. That's always going to be a good one. Then Saturday we've got the endurance event with, which has been hosted by Jay this time around because the Ghost isn't able to make it. That's a 2-hour endurance race, which is the last 3 have been brilliant races. All 3 of them have been absolutely brilliant races. And again, looking forward to that one coming up as well. Then Sunday, it's quiet this week, but nothing on this Sunday for a change. Right, so here we go. This is the feature race finally underway after the lobby was right at the beginning. Looking forward to seeing what Danny can do from 10th. Dunners as well. He's going to be in 9th place because obviously reverse grid from the first 25%. So it'd be good to see where everyone ends up, or if they can fight their way through. That's the key. Is can they fight their way through early doors and give themselves a good start? Get a good rundown from the start finish, the sort of grid start, because it's a decent enough rundown to turn 1, and if you can keep out of trouble, you might nick 2 or 3 places from the off if you're clever. Right, so this is a formation lap. It's the Hunter from Becker, BC Games, Wolsey, Ryan, Moggy, Drew Cam, Blumchum, Dunners, and Danny, who won the 25% race, the 13-lap race previously. Then it's Error, Sam Crashy Volvo. Riley is back in 13th. Why is he back in 13th? Oh yeah, because he was did not finish. Luke DeVent was also did not finish. He's in 14th. And in 15th place is Reflection 187 in what I think is his debut race for LNR. So made it for the final, the feature race. That's the word I was looking for. But does start for the rear of the pack because he's not. Unless of course that's Joseph on a PlayStation. I suppose it's very possible. I suppose because Joseph, for some reason, is not with us in this feature race. But didn't for someone that won season 3, was season 3 champion. He didn't show incredible pace that I expected coming into this season. So disappointed for him actually, because I thought, it's a 12-race season, so plenty can happen. Right, so they're all just going to come around these last few corners, get themselves lined up on the grid, ready for 25 laps here at Jeddah. And technically, because this is the second race here, it's return of the Jeddah. My son's just shaking his head at me. I'm some kind of odd bod. Right, here we go. We're fine. We're all just coming round to line up here. I don't like that STC stuff there on that shot. It really screws with your eyes as the cars go past. But I suppose that the whole point is to kind of make it prominent in your head, isn't it? It's the whole point of the advertising. Right, how long can the Hunter, Becken, BC Games, Wolsey, Ryan, how long can they hold off the charge from Danny, Dunners, Blumchum, Drew Cam, Moggy, who are all really quick in that first race? They're going to be coming at them rapidly from the off. I'm going to go on board with, let's go on board with Ryan in 5th. Yeah, let's do that. That's 5 lights. They'll go out and away we go. Good start from the Williams. Doesn't really get bogged down. Holds that line. He's steaming through into turn 1. How are we looking behind? Everyone's still safe? Yep, not much damage there. I don't see anyone looking crashy. But what a move from Ryan. Up into 2nd from the start. That is a phenomenal start for the Williams. He's tagged from behind, but I think the Hunter tagged him. That spins him out. The pair of them are off the racetrack. I think it was Dunners actually that caught him. So he was tagged by Dunners. Dunners down, way down, right at the back of the pack. Danny drops down as well in the McLaren, so he looks like he got caught up in that. So 1 and 2 from the first race are down in 14th and 15th. And Ryan, who, what a phenomenal start he had, straight up from 5th up to 2nd by turn 1. Finds himself down in 12th after getting tagged and spun around. So a lot of work for those guys to do. They are, well, that's Danish just making the move on errors at the back, and they've still got to get around Crashy Sam Volvo, who's probably going to bump them off the track at some stage, because that's what he's doing. So that puts Becken in the lead of this race, and it puts him in the lead by 2 seconds here on lap 1. BC Games and Wolsey, the 2 Red Bull drivers, both running in 2nd and 3rd. This is going to be some big constructors' points today for Red Bull, which is good early on in the championship, and it was good for them, not necessarily good for anybody else, of course. But Becken with the fastest lap, as you would expect, because he's in the lead. Blumchum up to 4th place, and he hasn't really got. The only person around him at the moment is Moggy, his teammate from last season, who is running in 5th place. But he hasn't really got any of the other really quick guys around. Drew Cam's there, I suppose. But the Hunter's in the pits. Dunners is way back there. Daddy's back there. But Wolsey's out of this race. Wolsey's hit a Wolsey, and he is out of this race. And you can't park that there, son. You cannot. You know you can't.
You can't park that there, mate.
You absolutely can't. And he is out. And that is the first safety car of the feature race. Is it a virtual? Yes, only a virtual. Which is strange, because that car is literally sideways in the middle of the road, and it's given us a virtual safety car. And then we've had cars that have properly crashed, and we've had nothing. But there we go. So Becken, his big lead. How long can he? Will it hold? Because we've still got the virtual safety car. It's actually opening up, surprisingly, even under a virtual safety car. He'll want that to be turned off as quickly as possible, so he can maintain a gap. And there it is. It is turned off. Wolsey out of this session. Wolsey hit a Wolsey, now he's gonzy. So Becken leads by 3.2 seconds. So 2 of the newcomers to the championship currently lead this race. Becken in first, BC Games in second. DRS is enabled. Neither of them are going to benefit from it, of course. Neither is Blumchum back in third. But Moggy, tucked right in behind his teammate from last season, will get some DRS now. 3 DRS zones here for your viewing pleasure, for your driving pleasure. Blumchum will want to try, if he can, to close up on the back of BC Games and get himself a little bit of DRS, just to keep him out of the clutches of Moggy. Let's bring up some tyre data, shall we? So I don't have to flip through the cars. So everybody in the top 9 on the medium compound tyres. Dunner's running on the softs. Needed to really carve his way through the field. He's not been able to do that early on. In fact, he lost places. So down in 10th place on the softs. Danny on the medium tyres. Then we've got Hunter Error and Sam Crash and Volvo. 12th, 13th and 14th. All are running the hard compound tyres, are going long and deep into this race. Long and deep. 2 things my missus has always wished I had more of. Right, anyway, moving swiftly on. There's Lutevent. I forget to say his name. Lutevent 69. Drew Cam is 1.5 seconds behind him. With Ray Riley just half a second behind. He's made a massive dive forward. And is he making a move on Drew Cam? He is up the inside. Does he make it stick? Not quite getting the job done, but he still has the inside line here. And he's got some DRS. He makes that move. They are side by side, the Ferrari and the Mercedes. But the Mercedes has the edge, and he just gets in front of Drew Cam. A Reflection was trying to get involved there as well. He is still in that battle, Reflection. He is half a second back from Drew Cam. It's going to pick up a bit of DRS, but now Drew Cam is going to get a little bit of DRS from Riley ahead of him. So that's going to make it a little bit more complicated for Reflection. Then we got 2.6 seconds back to Ryan. What a start this guy had. Dives up from 5th, right up into 2nd, then gets tagged coming out of turn 1 and round the ragged rock, the ragged rascal span, and finds himself down now in 9th place, trying to fight his way back up through the field. Reigning champion, we can call him that, for Exactly 11 and a half more race weeks before we have to either call him the current again or applaud somebody else and forget about him. He's running in 10th place. He's on the soft compound tyres, but he's not pulling away from Danny, despite having more grip. Danny's sticking with him, and Danny was phenomenal in race number 1. Won it by some way. There's a penalty for Sam Crashing Man Volvo. Not surprised. The only thing I am surprised about is that he managed to finish a race, the first race, despite crashing so much. And yeah, he's still in it here. Ryan with the fastest lap for Williams Racing. There is Danny making a move on Dunners, making it look easy as well. He's up into 9th, dropping Dunners down to 10th place. Drew Cam in the pits, changing out his tyres for some hard compound tyres. He's in 11th place. The Hunter in 12th. Aaron 13th and Sam Crashing Volvo in 14th. But Beckhead still leads the way. He's got a penalty on board, but he'll serve that at some stage through this race. It shouldn't affect him at the end. Still plenty of racing to be done though. Blumchum sticking with him, absolutely hanging with him. Moggy couldn't keep up, just dropping back now in 3rd. BC Games, he's dropped down a couple of places as well. He's running in 4th behind Moggy. He clips the wall, BC Games. That's some significant damage to his car. That's going to be affecting him. He's got no front wing. He's going to have literally nothing keeping the car on the ground. He's going to have to nurse the home. It is a safety car coming out after he clipped the wall there. Luckily, it's a safety car. It's not going to cost him too much. Speeding under the safety car error gets a penalty. Naughty, naughty. So this race is essentially negated because BCK just pushed it a little bit hard, just catches the wall and only just clips it and smashes the front wing to smithereens. He'll peel off into the pits, as you would expect. Blumchum in the pits, but gets caught speeding in the pit lane. BC Games in, of course. The leader, Beckhead, he's gone in. Blumchum in. Lutvent in. Reflection in. Ryan. Dunners. Danny. All into the pits. So Moggy opts to stay out, as does Aaron Riley. And they are leading the way now. But for how long? I mean, yeah, it's 11 seconds back to back end. But under safety car, that gap will close relatively quickly. And we'll see what benefit that has. And Danny goes on to the soft compound tyres. He's behind Dunners. So Dunners actually got out ahead of him. But Danny now on the soft compound tyres. 3.4 seconds behind him. How did he get out so slowly? Right, the gap is closing. Of course it's going to close because they're under safety car. And that is going to be that. So Moggy leads from Riley, Becken in 3rd, Blumchum in 4th. So 3rd, 4th, 5th. BC Games is Lutvent is in 5th. BC Games is in 6th. They've all pit. Reflection 7th has pit. Ryan has also been in the pits, as has Drew Cam, Dunners and Danny. The Hunter, he pitted a little bit early. He pitted on lap 4. Sorry, pitted on lap 2. He's done that on 4 laps for his hard tyres. Error pitted on lap 3. And Sam Crashy Man and Volvo pitted on lap 2. But has, so far, hasn't crashed since. Woolsey has. Woolsey crashed into a Woolsey. And we saw the reason for this safety car was BC Games clipping the wall and removing his front wing roughly. Usually you'd use spanners, but he decided to use one of those safety barriers at the outside of one of the left-handers. So the race has been negated. Good evening, fingers. How the bloody hell are you? I take it you were doing football today, which is why you didn't race. That would be my assumption. Shall I fill you in on what you've missed? So we had a really, really good qualifying session. Qualifying session in which Sam, crashing out Volvo, basically used his car like a bulldozer and tried to see if he could flip people up in the air Robot Wars style with his front wing. And then we got qualifying done, and it was all well and good. And then we started the race, and it was carnage. Lap 1 was a crash fest. We got that done and dusted. We got that out of the way. We went for the restart, and the lobby broke, so we had to red flag the start of the first race. And then we went again, and we started again. And then Danny and Dunners took 1-2 there. Good race from them. We lost a couple of drivers from that, and then of course we started again. And this is our first. We've had a virtual safety car already, and a virtual safety car in that one. There was a little coming together. I mean, Ryan had an absolute stonking start. He was in 5th from the line. By the time we got to turn 1, he was in 2nd. Made a beautiful move through. You watching YouTube in the car? Aaron is currently running 2nd, but him and Moggy have not put under the safety car. Literally every car from 3rd to 11th has behind them, so not necessarily the greatest of positions. And he crashed out of race number 1. So nil point for the Mercedes-Benz so far. Yeah, so on this, as I was saying, Ryan makes a great move from 5th up to 2nd. Gets tagged by, it looked like it was either Crashy Sam Volvo or Dunners that caught him. On the form, you say it's probably Crashy Sam Volvo, but Dunners and Danny did lose out on that opening lap, and were way down the order. Now running in 10th and 11th, of course. But at the moment, the Ferraris of Drew Cam and Dunners, very similar in terms of pace, running pretty much like for like on the racetrack. As it stands, though, we are on lap 8 of 25. Haven't had the news that the safety car's coming in. We are about to do another lap with this safety car, which will be lap 8, of course. Just for here's the weird thing, right? So Woolsey absolutely melted the wall, and the Red Bull was sideways on the track. We got a virtual safety car for that, and it lasted about half a lap. BC Games just clipped the wall and his front wing came off, and we are now on the 3rd lap of a full safety car for that one. Go figure. But yeah, I suppose it is what it is. Error retired from this session. Why is Error retired? Nobody knows. But he's out of this race. It looks like he's crashed. Where's Crashy Man? Can't see Error. He's already too far ahead. So Error out. So does that give us a longer safety car? Shorter safety car? What's the scenario? But so far, crossplay's been alright. We haven't had any. Apart from that, I say we've had no problem. We had to abandon the entire lobby. So yeah, let's not say we've had no problems at all. Right, so we're still on the safety car. This is lap 8 of 25 here at Jeddah. This is Late Night Racing Season 7, round number 1 from Saudi Arabia, the first of 12 rounds. This is where Dunners gets to defend his double World Championship title of the World Cup competition, World Wars belt thing. Currently running in 10th place, and second in race number 1, but is 10th now in here in the feature race. Safety car in this lap, so that AMG will pull off to the left-hand side, disappear into the pits, and we go racy. Moggy becomes the safety car effectively as they round the last couple of corners. We will go on board with BC Games. As it was his fault we had the safety car, it only seems fitting that the race restarts from the front of his car. So we can see Moggy, Riley, Becken, Blumchum and Lutivent ahead of him. Everyone away, no one caught sleeping this time. He gets a good run, BC Games, on Lutivent down to turn 1. He's in the slipstream. Can he make a move into turn 1? He's round the outside, just like the 2 training park girls that I like to keep in my basement. He doesn't make the move there. The Haas of Lutivent stays ahead. So here we go. No problems on the restarts. Apart from Sam Volvo, crashing Sam Volvo in the pits, and his car is facing that's the first time I've seen the car facing that way in the pits. When I've gone to this, really, really weird. Usually when I go to the pits, it shows you the front of the car, but for some reason it showed me the back. I thought for a moment actually he was facing the wrong way in the pits, but based on current form, it wouldn't have surprised me. Right, so Moggy leads away and already put it out 1.3 seconds over the Mercedes-Benz driver of O'Reilly. So yeah, Moggy's looking pretty darn good here. So far, he had a good race number 1, driver of the day for race number 1, which was thoroughly deserved and was on a massive charge on those soft tyres towards the end. Now finds himself 1.6 seconds clear. Riley is in the Mercedes just behind him, and just outside the DRS zone, or just inside, just got himself inside, is Becken, and he is the highest performing of the new runners. Doing a really good job there in third. And his teammate in the other halves, Luke DeVent, moving up into 4th place, getting around Blumchum, but only briefly. Blumchum back at him, and as he goes through, so does BC Games. So BC Games just tucking in behind Blumchum there, and using that momentum to push Luke DeVent down to 6th. So briefly, Luke DeVent went from 5th to 4th, and now he's down in 6th position. Reflection 187. For 187 reflections, you need 186 mirrors. Or something along those lines. I don't think you need that many actually, but I think you probably do it 2 mirrors. Idiots. Dunner's running in 8th place. He's still ahead of Danny. Danny's on the soft compound tyre now. Can he keep him at bay? Those two have got to be the ones you're looking at for potentially taking the big points here. They've been looking racy all day, and Dunner's now is closing down on the back of Reflection, and you can see it's so close. In fact, you can see his own reflection in those wing mirrors, and he's getting closer. He's looking. This is a brave move, a very brave move, and he makes it stick so well. Then he's now already up behind the Haas of Lutervent, only 8 till he just pulled out to 8 tenths of Lutervent, and there's a really good exit coming down towards the last corner. And Danny getting around Reflection as well, keeping up that movement. And what a move! Danny chucks one up the inside, but just on the brakes, couldn't make it stick. He actually loses the place to Reflection as DRS enabled. Dunners will pick some up here. Rear wing open, is it? No, he doesn't get it this time. He'll get it next time out. He is tucked up behind that Harzo, and now Danny is back ahead of Reflection, but so deep he went when he tried to chuck it up the inside, found himself just go flying past. That could have been a very nasty accident, but all's well that ends well. Nobody died. So that battle's still going on, and Danny's really getting involved there in that McLaren, really trying to find a way through. So it is Moggy leads the way from Riley in the Mercedes-Benz, but it's 2 seconds now, that gap, and Blumchum is starting to get involved on the back of that Mercedes-Benz. He's getting the Williams closer and closer and closer, and putting a little gap, not a huge one, just a little bit gap from Becken, or whatever his name is, in the Haas. He is 1.3 seconds, and no DRS for him, and he's got a little bit of pressure from behind from BC Games, Lutervent, Dunners, Danny, and Reflection, all running within the DRS zone of each other. So it's a bit of a slipstream DRS train going on right now for those guys. Drew Cab running in 10th place in the other Fezzer. He is on the hard tyres. He's 3.2 seconds behind that current battle. As Blumchum makes the move on, Moggy's into the pits. So Riley moves up into the lead. I thought Blumchum made the move on him, but Moggy into the pits to change out those medium tyres onto the hards, and he's going to come out. This is how close they are. He's going to come out in 11th place, just ahead of Ryan, who is who just picked himself. He's 43 seconds back behind in 12th. So what started as a brilliant race for him, has now turned into a bit of a nightmare. And that was Blumchum just flying off into the wall. There are bits of the reigning Constructors Champion all over the wall. He has splattered himself like a fly into a swatter. It's going to take an age. That's definitely a safety car. They're going to need crowbars to dig his skull out the side of the racetrack there. Absolutely awful smash. So Blumchum out of this race, and we are on lap 12, halfway point almost, and it's another safety car. And it's a safety car that sees Riley in the lead of this race, Moggy, who was leading, pit before the safety car. Yeah, so you pit before the safety car. Bear with me, I've just got to answer a message very, very quickly. I can't multitask, see. Hold on, I'll talk about yourself when she's answering this. I can't multitask, we'll bring it here. Right, sorry about that. Right, so Drew Cam takes the lead in this race. 8 laps, old, hard tyres for him. Becken is in third. He's in the pits as well. So Riley's in the pits. Moggy does come through, back into second place, but he pit before the safety car, so he had a much more expensive pit stop in terms of time. Riley is he's actually 7.7 seconds behind Drew Cam at the moment. He needs that safety car to stay out for as long as possible. He will want that to stay out there and hang out there while he closes that gap. Sorry, I just got a reply to that message. Talk amongst yourselves a minute while I deal with this issue very, very quickly. Coming to you. This inability to text and talk is something I need to learn from the kids. I can't have 2 conversations at once. Just can't be done. Right, so Drew Cam leads the way. 8 laps in under the second safety car here. We've had a virtual, which we got when Wolsey absolutely melted his Red Bull into the side of the racetrack and went sideways. That came as a virtual safety car. That was cleared up in half a lap. Then we saw BC Games lose a little bit of his wing, and that little bit of a wing gave us a massive safety car, and then a big smash there from Blumchum, and that's another safety car we have. This is lap 13 of 25. We have a Ferrari leading the race. Charles Ledrucam is currently leading from Fernando Moglonzo in the Aston Martin. Then it is Lewis de Bellend Riley. Sorry, I'm not calling you a Bellend Riley, I'm calling Lewis Bellend. In the Mercedes-Benz. And then in 4th place is Carlos Dudders, running in the second Ferrari. Danny Norris in the McLaren, running in 5th place. And then in the other Aston Martin, we have Lance Reflection running in 6th place. Then we've got the Haas, the first of 2 Haas. Is the safety car in this time? Well, that's not. It's not in this time. We've got Kevin Bekevin. His name's difficult to say anyway. in the hards. Then it's BC Verstappen in the I forgot what I was doing. BC Verstappen in the Red Bull racing car in 8th place. In the Alfa Romeo, it's Valtteri Hunter running in 9th place. In the other half, I can't say his name either, which event. I'll just do that. Then for Williams Racing, in the Williams we've got Ryan Albon running in 11th place, and then it's Crashy Sam. He's not getting a special name yet because he crashes too much. Crashy Sam in the other Alfa Romeo. Safety car is in this lap, finally. Drew Cam running in the lead. He will take up the mantle as the new safety car in the Ferrari. This time, so Dunners and Danny now in that top 5. You better watch out, you better not cry, because these two guys are coming to fly. Yeah, boy. It's like Burns is here, it's like Shakespeare, isn't it? Right, so Danny is on board for the restarts, and anyone gets caught out? No, they do not. And it's Drew Cam from Moggy, from Riley, from Dunners, from Danny. Reflection. God, do you know what? I thought then that Ryan was crashed, but he was actually making an overtake. So good on him. He's up to 10th place. We're down to 12 of the 15 runners that started, and quite disappointed actually that we didn't have a full quota of 20 for the opening race. But tis what tis. Sometimes you can make it, sometimes you can't. Reflection in 6th place. Now, Sam Crashy Man Volvo is in the pits, changing onto soft compound tyres. How many times has he pit this time? He pit 5 times in 13 laps in the first race. This time he has pit just 4 times in 15 laps. So he's improving, which is always good. I know I'm ragging on you, man, but you absolutely melted so many cars in qualifying and race in the first lap of race number 1. So you're going to get it this time. I will let you off next week. You won't get nothing from me next week. It's just the way you kind of ask for it by absolutely flying through loads of cars. So Drew Cam, he's not having it all his own way though. He's under significant pressure from Moggy. Dunners up to 30s around the Mercedes-Benz, and he is tucked. He is tucked up behind his teammate. Those 2 Ferraris are trying to double team that Aston Martin out of the way. Dunners up to 2nd. He's ahead of Drew Cam. He's absolutely on to Moggy like a rash. This is looking really, really racy. Trying to break the toe, but just can't make that happen. And Moggy on the hard tyres, he's going to get swallowed up soon. Drew Cam's also on the hards as well, but they're 11 laps old, those tyres. He's really going to struggle a little bit. And we've lost Sam Crashy Volvo from this race by the looks. Well, it says we did, but he's still there. Have we lost him? Have we not lost him? I don't really know. Could it be a PC problem? Could it be? You know, we don't usually have these kind of issues, but he's on a PC, so maybe that is the problem. It's that crossplay nonsense. Surely, you know, in this day and age of technology, we can sort out a reliable crossplay scenario. You would have thought, wouldn't you? But Moggy leads the way. He's weathered the storm a little bit. Drew Cam has got back ahead of Dunners into 2nd place. Moggy's weathered the storm, and he's now just outside that DRS zone of the 2 Ferraris in behind, who are absolutely, they're battling each other more than they're battling anyone else at the moment. And Dunners back up into 2nd place. These 2 Ferraris are just changing position, corner after corner, lap after lap. You know, and I've said from the beginning that these 2 have been incredibly close in terms of performance. And yeah, look, this race 1, it's very difficult to call who's going to win anything after just 1 race. But it's going to be difficult to look past Dunners for the championship again. He's won it twice already in a run. And from his pace so far as DRS is enabled, as you know, based on form and the way he's been performing the race on the way he's performing now, it's going to be difficult to look past him so far. But certainly in terms of Constructors' Championship, these 2 Ferrari drivers looking very, very strong. And if they're performing on equal kind of footing in terms of race pace, then they're going to score big points every single week. And that's how you win things like a Constructors' Championship. So Moggy leads 7/10 from Dunners. Drew Cam just dropping back a little bit towards the Mercedes-Benz of Riley. It's 1.2 seconds behind Dunners now. Riley in that Petronas Mercedes-Benz is running in 4th, 7/10 of a second back. He's got Danny boy, running in 5th place behind him. I was going to call him Danny the Fanny, but I don't think that's really fair because I don't know his name is even Danny because he's got an X instead of an A. He's 2.5 tenths back from A Riley now, starting to put the pressure on. And Riley, of course, has got a little bit of DRS, which is just keeping him out of harm's way. Reflection also getting involved there in the second Aston Martin. Now, the Aston Martin's also performing very well. It's almost like this season, apart from the fact that the Red Bulls aren't doing quite so great. And there is Danny trying to make the move on Riley. He just side by side realises he can't make the move there, tucks in behind, and all 3 of these cars with DRS putting some real pressure on Drew Cam. Drew Cam getting cut adrift by his teammate now, and really having some problems keeping those guys at bay. And those problems have just compounded as Riley, Danny and Reflection all make the move on the Ferrari driver, and he drops from the top 3. He's not just fallen off the podium, he's dropped off the entire balcony and smacked face first onto the tarmac, down in 6th. More horrible analogy I just come up with there. There he is, so he's running in 6th place now. BC Games is outside or just sneaking into the DRS zone behind him. He's got Ryan 1.8 seconds back in 8th place. Just outside DRS is Beken in the Haas with his teammate Lutvent is right there with him and trying to find a way through. He's harvesting at the moment. Just saving that ERS, ready to make a charge on his teammate. He's got that DRS wing wide open as they head down into the final sector of the racetrack. He's going to be, if he comes out of the final turn this close, I think Beken's going to have to accept that his teammate is just going to be quicker than him. And they head down to the final turn. Bit of DRS there just gets him closer into the braking zone. Round they go. Those Haas in unison. And it's another safety car. Why have we got a safety car? Who has died? Nobody's crashed. Drew Cam dives into the pits. It looks like he's got no front wing. Maybe that's the problem. I can't see. It could just be the view, actually. So, Drew Cam into the pits. Ryan into the pits. And that leaves Moggy in the lead of this race from Dunners. Now, Moggy's 7-lap old hard compound tyres. Dunners on 6-lap old medium tyres. This is lap 19 of 25 laps here at Jeddah. And, you know, we've done, essentially, by the end of this race, we would have done 38 laps around here. And it feels like we've done 138. It's taken so long. Of course, we've had lobby problems and bits and pieces which have brought that about. So it's, you know, it's one of those things. But we're expecting probably 3 laps under safety car, maybe 4. That's what you're usually getting, about 3 laps under safety car. So that means we're going to have 3 racing laps to the end of this race. Ryan on the soft compound tyres, he comes back out in 10th. Drew Cam comes out on the mediums in 9th. They're going to close up a little bit on that battle, that current battle that was raging on for 6, 7, 8 BC Games and Beken and Ludvent. They're all on hard tyres as well, so they're going to have a pretty racy Ferrari with Drew Cam behind the wheel, and Ryan on soft compounds in 10th place will be closing down on them when this race restarts. Dunners on the mediums, 6 laps old. He's got 6 laps remaining, but with probably 3 of them under safety car, he can really look after those tyres and to make sure he's got some grip left in him towards the end of the race for that charge on Moggy. He's in a really good position now. Danny is back in 4th so essentially this is how it's looking. You've got Dunners on medium tyres in 2nd, who's just behind Moggy on the hard tyres. Then in third, you've got Riley in the AMG Mercedes, also on hard tyres, with Danny on the mediums behind him in the McLaren. They were 1-2 in the first race. Remember that. They've been very, very quick all day, those two. Reflection in the Aston Martin is in fifth. He's on medium tyres as well. He's tucked in behind Danny. BC Games, he's on hard tyres in sixth place. Behind Reflection, he's got Luke Devent, or Luke Devon, or Luke Devon, or Luke Devon, whatever it is. Luke Devent in half second back in seventh place in the other Aston Martin. Then we've got Ryan on soft tyres, brand new soft tyres, in eighth, but he has got a penalty to serve, and that penalty is 6 seconds. Behind is the Hunter. He is going to be hunting them down on medium tyres, brand new medium tyres, but carrying a 3-second penalty. And then the second hardest driver, Becken, he's on 7-lap old medium tyres in 10th place with 12 seconds of penalties. So that will put him essentially second last. Sam Volvo is still 21 seconds back with 3 seconds worth of penalties to boot. And Drew Cam, the other Mercedes driver, back in 11th place. He's got no penalties, of course. So he's just got the soft compound tyre. So he will potentially, or he'll certainly jump into the top 10. It's how many places can he make up with those soft tyres? I mean, Drew Cam is going to want to make moves as quickly as humanly possible. It's not outside the realms of possibility that he could fight his way into the top 5. 3 cars in front of him are carrying penalties, and then you've got cars carrying quite old hard tyres. He's going to be on brand new, fresh soft tyres. Let's have a look at how people have improved over the course of this race. So 5 places gained for Moggy. He's up in the lead of this race right now. Dunners has gained 7 places. 10 places for Riley in the AMG Mercedes-Benz. 6 places gained for Danny in the McLaren. And 10 also gained for Reflection in the Aston Martin. The second Aston Martin, 2 Aston Martins running in the top 5. Of course, we've got Fernando Moggy out in the lead, and Lance Reflection in 5th place. BC Games, 3 places he's lost. That'll be predominantly because he lost the front wing and brought about a safety car scenario. Luke Devent has gained 7 positions in 7th place. Everybody else though losing out. 3 places lost for Ryan, 8 places lost for the Hunter and Becken down in 9th and 10th. 4 places lost for Drew Cam. Sam Crashy Volvo, he is now finally tucked in behind everybody else. He is in 12th place. He started 12th, he's still 12th. The irony is here, actually, he could pick up points for finishing. He's been the crashiest of everybody, and yet he's still finished the first race. He could very likely finish here as well. So it kind of goes back to what I said some time ago, that finishing races sometimes is better than trying to push for that extra place, because it's where you pick up the points. We've lost Blumchum. He went into a wall, as did Wolsey. Name like Wolsey, what do you expect? And we also lost Error from this race, just 3 retirements. Lap 21 of 25. No news about the safety car going in just yet. So it looks like we've got another lap under the safety car as it heads down towards the side. Oh no, there we go. Safety car is in this lap. This is lap 21. So we'll have 22, 23, 24, 25. 4 laps of racing to come. Let's bring up the tyres to remind ourselves of what people are going to be on when they go racing. So Moggy will lead them out. We'll go on board with, this time, the Aston Martin of Reflection. And we'll see whether he can. 5-second penalty. Massive, there's been a crash. Leading up here, Luke Devent hits somebody and picks up a big penalty. That is I thought was going to bring about another safety car, but luckily it hasn't. It does mean, though, of course, that they're going to have to repair damage, which is going to really help Drew Cam, to be fair. That's a couple of the cars that are really moving. So we're back underway, and you can see Moggy, Dunners, Riley, Danny, and Reflection all making that move into turn one. Everyone through cleanly. We're looking back. No one getting stricken through turn one. Nope, everyone is safe. And we move on. So Moggy in the lead of this race. He's going to be under significant pressure from Dunners straight away. 10 laps old, the hard tyres. 9 lap old medium tyres for Dunners. Look, the tyres are going to be a little bit ropier, but they're still going to be a little bit grippier. As we see, that's Beckett, who was the other end of the damage from Lutvent. Yeah, he's way down in 12th place now. He's actually got Crushy Sam is ahead of him. And Ryan moving up through the order. He's up to 5th place. Danny dropping down to 7th. And he's got no front wing. Again, no front wing. So he's going to go and have to repair. So that, he's going to get swallowed up by every car there. Surprised, actually, that didn't bring about a safety car. So that's put Danny right out of the running. Drew Cam up to 9th. He's going to move up to 8th when Danny goes in the pits, or even when he moves over out of the way. He's still trying to go racing. He hasn't got a front wing. He should be getting it out of the way because he's got to go in the pits. He's holding these cars that are racing up. Why are you trying to hold the inside line? You've got no front wing, man. You're going to cause a crash. And that has actually caused the Alfa Romeo of the Hunter just under braking just into the back of Danny, because Danny's holding up these cars when he's got to go into the pits. That's not very sporting, my friend. But he's in the pits now. He's going to put on a new wing. He's got some serious work to do. So Moggy still leads the way. It is Dunners behind in, and they have literally pulled right away from everybody else. Half a second difference between them. But Riley back, he's in 3rd. He's holding firm in 3rd. 3.7 seconds back. The only person targeting him right now is Ryan. But Ryan has got a penalty, remember, to serve. As has Reflection behind him. As has Lutvent behind him. So even if he does get caught, the next person on the racetrack that can catch him is BC Games in 7th. Ryan does make that overtake on Riley, but that was a big corner cut to make that move. And it looks like Reflection's going to make the move on Riley as well. But it won't matter because these guys have got penalties to serve. I mean, it absolutely won't make a blind bit of difference. That's a penalty for Danny as well for multiple warnings. So the penalty Ryan is carrying is, if I remember rightly, it's 9 seconds. Reflection's carrying 3 seconds. So as long as Riley finishes within 3 seconds of Reflection, he's going to finish 3rd in this race. Moggy leads, though, still holding off Dunners, but now DRS is enabled. Dunners is going to get that DRS help, and it's going to be very hard for Moggy to keep him at bay. No one else involved in this battle in the front two. It's just these two. It is the reigning, one half of the reigning Constructors Champion and the reigning Drivers Champion going at it. Mono a mono. Aston Martin versus Ferrari. Two icons of motorsport through the years. And Moggy just trying to find a way. How's he going to keep Dunners at bay? You've got a car behind you on softer tyres than you. He's going to have DRS. It's going to take some great driving to keep him at bay. But at the moment, he's doing exactly what is required to do that job perfectly. Drew Cam picked up a penalty. So that charge he was trying to make through, he's still in 10th place. He's picked up a penalty as well. And now drops down the order. So everybody, bar BC Games in 7th, Riley in 5th, Dunners in 2nd, and Moggy in 1st, has a penalty to serve. So your top 4 at the moment is very likely going to be Moggy, Dunners, Riley, and BC Games just picking up a penalty as well now. So only the top 3 are the only drivers will have, or they will be the top 3 by the time this race is done. So it's really going to be decided by penalties the rest of the pack. But we're watching Dunners. This is going to be the final lap of the race. So they start the final lap 25 here at Jeddah. The gap is half a second. And you can see Moggy just weaving to try and drop Dunner's out of that slipstream just to give him something to keep away from him. But he's going to have DRS three more on the run to the line, but that's not going to be much. So 2 real opportunities with DRS for Dunners. As we're watching him try and close down on Moggy, he's just not quite close enough. He gets within that range where you think he can make the move, and then he gets in that dirty air and it just unsettles the car a little bit. He just has to back off into the touch. So here we go. We are into Sector 3. Sector 2 went quite well. Sorry, Sector 2 we're into now. Sector 1 went quite well, and Dunners is closing the gap. Ryan behind, still in third, but he will lose that place, of course, if he drop out of the top 3 because of penalties. But there's the move. Moggy out of the race. Moggy has crashed. Moggy has crashed on the final sector of this race. Moggy out, and Dunners will blaze home to win this. And you've got to feel Moggy's pain. That is devastating. I was going to say Reflection has pulled out that 3 seconds he needs on the Mercedes team driver Riley, but with Moggy crashing out, and that is just horrible. I feel your pain, man. What can you say? What can you do? The tyres just didn't hang on for him, and out he went. Dunners takes the checkered flag here. Reflection comes home in second, despite having a penalty. Ryan in third, but with the penalty served, Riley moves up in Mercedes-Benz to take a podium finish. Ryan finishing in fourth. Fifth will be BC Games. Sixth will be Ludevent. Seventh is the Hunter. Bekenti, or whatever his name is 18 seconds back in 8th place. Although once those penalties are served, Drew Cam moves up to 8th. Sam Volvo, against all odds, Crashy Sam got himself in that top 10. A brilliant drive. And what can we say other than well done to your winner? Dunners demonstrating just exactly why he is the reigning champion. Takes a second and a first on the opening weekend of season 7. The opening evening of season 7, should I say. Great performance from him. And driver of the day was Reflection, which on reflection was probably quite well earned, because he was plumb last on the grid and he fought his way to second, the second step of the podium. What a bloody finish that was. Moggy, man. If you didn't throw, if you're on control and you didn't throw it across the room, or you didn't kick your steering wheel or smash your chair, I would be incredibly surprised. I'm just so disappointed for you. But it is what it is. I'm not going to do top 3 interviews, purely because it is crazy late now when we started doing it. Everything's kind of ran a little bit late. But congratulations to Dunners. Let's do the full rundown. Standings are as follows. Dunners, 45 points, top of the tree. Already 20 points clear at the top. That's a fantastic finish from him. Danny in second in the driver standings. Ryan third. Reflection in fourth. Drew Cam in fifth. Riley in sixth. Better performance there. Really bumped him up the order there. Blumchum seventh. BC Games in eighth. Moggy Aston Martin in ninth. Ludevin is in the Haas in 10th. The Hunter in 11th, Wolsey in 12th, Beken in 13th, Sam Smashy Volvo in 14th, surprisingly, and Hera in 15th place. Constructor standings look like this. Ferrari lead the way, massive gap, already 26 points clear of Williams. Aston Martin in third position. Done and dusted is race number 1. We will be back next week. Really looking forward to that. Yes, thank you very much for joining me. Sorry, Sunday. Tomorrow we are at the back on GT7 at Road Atlanta for the GR3, and that will be followed at half by the opening race of the High Prix GR1 Challenge. I've been Owen Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV with Late Night Racing Season 7 opening races at Jeddah. Catch you later, fools.